I had the feedback once when I was working for a parking on Volta. If you know Volta, it's a
Mhm.
studio in Canada.
Yep.
The art director there are really, really like heavy duty feedbackers. When I got a feedback from them, uh, they told me that the my works kind of look very amateurish because of the anatomy, the lighting, the colors very muddy.
Oh,
Except of I back then I told my editor that uh, I don't want to work on this I because of the feedback they give. It's like too much time is getting wasted because of the feedback instead of me just
yeah.
working for commissions and no feedback. But through time, I learned that yeah, the feedback I got there was really important because when I look back at the feedback, I studied it and tried to edit. I didn't try to edit. I edit it because it's work. So I edit it and look back and really saw that hey, it really changed, make the image look good.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to our featured artist interview segment here at Brushpoint
I hear you
Community.
laughing.
Now I'm excited, man, because our guest
Uh,
for tonight is hailed as one of the pioneers and powerhouses in the
whoa.
Philippine digital art scene. Whoa! He is a former colorist for Mangaholics up until around 2011. Then he became one of the starting members and creative director of Gunship Revolution. He has illustrated for numerous card and tabletop games. Some of the most notable are Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, Hearthstone, and around 2019, he started illustrating for Magic the Gathering. He is currently one of the big bosses in the MetaPen server and community. So without further ado, everyone, welcome Sir Brian Tots Valeza.
Oh, everyone.
Hey,
That was
clapping
all a
effects.
lie.
Facts.
I'm
No
just
printer,
kidding.
just facts. Okay. Okay, Sir Tots, let's get wet. Let's get our feet wet, fella. Sorry.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa.
whoa.
It's
Wrong
been a long
server,
day. It's been a
man.
long day. Let's start simple. Some of our audience here, they're curious and they kind of ask me to ask you, where did the name Tots come from?
Uh, thoughts came from, I think my uncle used to say when he's joking, like, who taught mo? So I decided to use that name as an alien character. It looks like this if you're looking at my screen.
Yeah, yeah,
Are you familiar with Invader Zim?
yeah, yeah.
They kind of look like him. Before I saw Invader Zim, I kind of designed an alien like Invader Zim
The green
and
one.
called it Totmo. Then added some of my friends as an alien. That we call them the unthinkables because they don't think. A bunch of dumbasses aliens trying to invade Earth. So
And
that's
then from
where yeah,
yeah,
from there I used the name because that's what uh, some of my classmates called me. Like we all have our nicknames way back in college. So that's what they call me and stuck with it and made it my pen name.
yeah, and perfect segue because that became your pen name in DeviantArt. I think it's Totmo Art Studio 2,
Yes, yes.
my number 2. Uh,
Because way
So
back I was like
yeah.
wanted to make my own studio to do art. Then can think of a name, so let's use the Totmo Art Studio.
Oh, okay. And I was going through your DeviantArt, so I'm gonna
Why?
send out for research. So
Oh,
I came upon this image, so I'm gonna send it here in the chat. So maybe it might be a long memory. Wait, it's still sending. There we go. So I sent that picture. That used to be your workspace. So
oh yeah.
I'm gonna ask you now, just for as a icebreaker, what are workspace must-haves for you right now, today?
Today, mm, I need at least multiple screens so I can look at reference and watch videos. And of course, my working uh, display tablet,
Tab.
a mini vacuum for dust, spray for cleaning my monitor, uh, water, always hydrate.
Stay
What
hydrated.
else? Of course, the keyboard and the mouse. Don't use mousepad anymore. Or like, can't find any of those kind of boobies mousepad.
Ah, man, I was a keeper. I was gonna ask about that.
And that's all. That's
All
all.
right.
I want it simple. Start to move around. There's so many stuff
Mhm.
around.
That's all. Okay. So that's you right now. Back then, let's kick it. Let's rewind time. Back then, so you came from an era where information wasn't as
Whoa,
accessible
whoa, whoa! Are you
as it is today.
I'm old? How dare you?
Oh no, I didn't say any
Yeah.
age. I, did.
Oh,
I mean, I got this from the other interviews.
oh.
Let's say your life as an artist, your whole life as an artist until today was a dream, and you suddenly woke up and you were a student again for either FIATI or FEU, and you were
Oh.
studying architecture. But
Okay.
it's in the current day and age, so you're a student again. Um, your stats went back to zero. How would you approach being an artist now if you were to start over?
First up, I probably kill myself because I don't want to go back to school.
Not again. Not
No,
like this.
that's actually a recurring nightmare. Every time I dream about them back in school, like wake up sweaty and gasping for air because I really don't want to go back to school. You know, those the time I need to do a report and I'm not prepared,
Mm-hmm.
assignment, unfinished assignments, was a nightmare. So if well, going back to your question, how will I approach it at this time?
Yeah.
Mm,
Let's say you go away from school, you ditch school again for the second time. How will you approach it in this day and age if you were to be a student?
are you
I mean,
asking me
you,
this
yeah,
because you're planning on doing something
maybe,
similar?
maybe, or
Okay.
a lot of our artists here are young students as well, so maybe they can pick something.
I don't know. Can't imagine that. I I think I'll do a lot of reading comics again
Okay.
because that's what actually got me started in loving industrial, being an industry. No, really. Yeah, I'll probably go back reading comics, collecting comics, and start. Yeah, how I started back way back then, just draw because I love drawing. I don't if it's paid or non-paid, I just draw.
You wouldn't change anything from back then.
My health,
Your
probably.
health. Oh, is this about your kidneys? Your kidneys.
Yeah, kidneys, liver, everything.
Oh, liver.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
so I probably do the same thing. So just if I'm going to change, it's outside the part. Probably
yeah.
the health thing. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's what I do.
Mostly health. You mentioned in some interview before, back then you didn't have Google, so you would go to National Bookstore or any bookstores. You would look at anatomy books and you would study, and you would open. Back then you could open the book, right? But now
Yeah,
with the technology and resources today, it's different.
yeah.
Would you still approach it the same way? Is there something you would change?
Probably. Yeah, that's the. I think that's one thing that will change. That the uh, education stuff is more accessible right now. You can just Google anatomy references. May other artists can study their work more freely now. Because way back then, I need to go to National Bookstore, look at magazines, books. I don't know a lot of digital artists back then because I don't think there are a lot of digital artists. Only comic artists. So yeah, probably look at digital artists right now. If
If
I
you were, yeah, because
if,
sorry,
if we're going back, if I'm going to relearn art this time,
would you make your own lesson? Like, if you were to make your own lesson plan for yourself, if you were starting over, what would be your structured learning? Because one of the problems with the modern age, based from what I got from other artists that are starting out, there's a lot of information available. It's kind of overwhelming. They don't know where to start. And as a result, their learning is all over the place. In Filipino, we call it kalat, right?
what
So how would you
what's kalat?
all over the place.
Oh,
Okay.
I see, I see.
Okay. So, if you were to give them a lesson plan or a structured learning course, what would be your major subjects? How would you help
Uh,
simplify it?
I don't know. That's
Like, yeah, for your
even
path as an
uh,
illustrator.
if again, if we're going back, like I have zero knowledge of the industry or the art,
Mm-hmm.
probably don't know because the way I learned drawing, I just draw. Then looking at other artists and looking at their work and comparing them. I know people say don't compare art to other artists. I don't know about that. I do compare my art so I can measure how long, how far I've gone, how many things I've learned. You don't compare their success to yours. That's maybe what they mean. But comparing their art to your art, I think that's a good practice to know, especially if you want to work in the industry. So you can measure up if your work is at the level, so you can apply. Especially if you're gonna work with a studio, look at their artist work, compare it to yours, see if your art is at least at their level. So, it's a question again.
No, no, you answered it already.
It's
That's
fine.
how you would approach it. And
Yeah,
if
probably
someone were
start
to look up to
comparing.
you, yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
could
don't have
emulate
like
that.
study anatomy first and study.
Mm-hmm.
I don't didn't do that when I was learning. I just draw and draw and draw. Then slowly by comparing it, that's what's the word. I subconsciously study anatomy through comparing my work. Like, oh, why is my arm? What's wrong with how I draw my arms? Then look at me and look another artist. Now. Oh, so that's how we draw it. So I try to copy it, imitate it. Then slowly I learned anatomy. It's a bit slow type of learning, but I learned. So that's how I wanna uh, do art. I don't wanna rush things. Just I lack nutrition for my brain. Yeah. And with that, you know, I don't take
Worked out.
information that fast, so I want to take it slow and then slow.
Okay. You were at a state of play. Okay. So
Yeah.
when you're drawing, you're just enjoying it. Because from
Yes,
what I
that's
got,
the
you
first
absorbed
thing
it
you
through
need.
osmosis. Ah, okay. Yeah, you gotta enjoy what you
If
do.
you don't enjoy what drawing, then what the fuck do you want to? Oh, sorry. Can I curse?
I think yeah, we're all
Can
adults.
I curse
Hope.
this? Fuck. Okay. So,
Yeah. It's not going on YouTube anyways. It's just
oh
here
yeah,
in Discord.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
we're good. We're not gonna get demonetized. Okay, nice.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Send stars. Thank you, subscribers. Okay. So in terms of osmosis and perfect timing, um, you mentioned in other interviews, you always mention this: be a sponge, because newbie artists
Yes.
tend to be defensive because they're starting out.
Yes.
It's personal. Art is personal, and they can get hurt. Um, And you also suggested that before they complain, they should listen first and understand the feedback and try not to take it to heart too much. I have a
Yes.
question. Okay. What is a critique or feedback or lesson that you've absorbed down to your cells because of how valuable it was?
Hmm. What critique I absorbed?
Hmm. Something
Maybe how
that's
I
down to your bones. you absorbed?
I had the feedback once when I was working for a card game on Volta. If you know Volta, it's a
Mhm.
studio in Canada.
Yep.
The art director there are really, really like heavy duty feedbackers. When I got a feedback from them, uh, they told me that the my works kind of look very amateurish because of the anatomy, the lighting, the colors very muddy.
Oh,
Except of I back then I told my editor that uh, I don't want to work on this I because of the feedback they give. It's like too much time is getting wasted because of the feedback instead of me just
yeah.
working for commissions and no feedback. But through time, I learned that yeah, the feedback I got there was really important because when I look back at the feedback, I studied it and tried to edit. I didn't try to edit. I edit it because it's work. So I edit it and look back and really saw that hey, it really changed, make the image look good. So that feedback really stuck to me. The focus more on the fundamentals. To be honest, I really didn't study fundamentals. I just draw. Only recently, like I really pay attention to fundamentals when back. I think 2015. Really like it's too late for my career, but still I try to study. Even now, still studying fundamentals. Always checking if my anatomy is right, form's right. So yeah, that I think that's the feedback critic that I received that really changed my way of working.
So ever since then, you're always mindful if your colors look muddy or the lighting is
Yes,
muddy. When
because
was
since
Volta again? Sorry,
uh,
go on.
Volta, when that happened,
Yeah.
I think that's 2012, 2013.
Oh, so around gunship era.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
early gunship era. We started at 2011. So the Volta was one of the biggest client we have, and then
Are you allowed to talk about the project? What project was that?
forget the name.
Is it a
So
game?
long. It's a card game.
Right.
I think it was canceled. Called
Ah,
Ashes. I think Ashes.
um, we'll just
So
have to
that's
Google
that's
that.
just a code name because sometimes client works use code names like spaghetti, ice cream. That's what they call the project. So even if it's get leaked, no one get
Ah,
details.
okay. So they don't
Yes.
tell you the name. Okay.
Even in Magic, when I'm working Magic, uh, the name of the card, like let's say uh, Fire Dragon, that's the name of the assignment. Then when they publish the card, it has a different name, like Flaming Reptile Flying Creature, something like that. So they don't tell you the real name of the card or the project or the set you're working on. So they can protect the they won't even if it gets leaked, no one will know.
It's not different. So in the art brief, they have everything that you need except for the name. So you can work with that already when illustrating.
You can ask for more if you don't understand uh, what they are like ask for more reference and if it's available. But everything is in there. The mood, the setting, characters, the actions, everything's in the art brief. So read it
Okay.
carefully.
Oh, we'll get back to that later. Let's hold that thought on reading carefully later. Okay, since we're talking about commissions right now, um, some people are curious, myself included. You know, you've mentioned that in other interviews, you seldom email the studios or the clients, and that work finds you. you always tell people to post good work and the work will find you. So
Yeah.
question is, how many projects do you accept in a month? Or how what's your setup? Do you accept for per quarter, per month as you go?
Uh, I accept every as long as it's a good project. I will accept it. Right now, monthly. Right now, I only work for. You can see there. I have my whiteboard
Whiteboard, yeah. Install.
uh, written. It's written all my schedule and of course calendar. It's very important by a whiteboard calendar and a whiteboard so you can map out your projects. Monthly, way back early, my early freelance day, I like to take a lot of projects, like at least 15 a month. I take
Mhm.
commissions like 15 a month. Then slowly, as I grow old, I, I slowly take less. But because since I started working for Magic and other higher paying clients, you don't have to take a lot since you'll get paid a lot for doing less.
Mhm.
Way back then, I take a lot and get paid because I get paid less, so I take a lot of project so I can call that quote quota,
Quota. Okay.
monthly
Got
quota.
it.
So now I just take like right now I have like only 5 clients right now. Uh, Magic, Fatminder, Fablecraft, and a couple of commissions. So the more you get work, the more you improve, the bigger client you get, the less you can take and have more time for yourself or your family. So I guess that's what I do right now.
Mm.
Yeah, simple question.
Okay. No, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I want to touch on something you mentioned just a while ago. As long as you like the project, you'll take it. So I've heard from some people that you also accept small projects as well. Not just the bigger paying clients, but if it's
Mm.
something you enjoy, you're gonna accept it. And it surprised other people um, because you've reached a level where in my headspace, your time is expensive. So you would like you said, you have five right now, and since you're juggling five high level clients, you can't afford to quote unquote waste your time on other things. But what's interesting was you take smaller projects like Kickstarter projects. So I wanted to ask, what are the things that you consider when you accept a project? You know, what makes you say yes?
If it's fantasy, especially like painting fantasy, so if it's a fantasy game, then or the initial discussion with the client, if I sense the clients to be genuinely like my work or like working on fantasy, like genuinely like the project, and not just to you know um, get paid
Mm-hmm.
or earn from their project. Just really passionate about their project. Yeah, that's one thing I'd consider working on, even if it's like quarter of the rates of
Mm-hmm.
my other clients. I'll take that as long as I enjoy the working process.
Whoa. No, that really wowed me when I found out. 'Cause nowadays, people, with inflation and everything, you'd be surprised that if people wanna get that higher pays, right? And they're
I
afraid
mean,
to take the risks.
there's nothing wrong with that. It's just me. I just want to do art, so don't follow my my, my
Teach their
path.
own.
If you really need the money, then go take the money or do work that pay more than the work that pay less.
Mhm.
I'm in my position that I can do that. I can say no to big clients if I don't like their work because I'm already working with my other clients. Or
Perfect.
no, what?
No, perfect topic because Dave Raposa, a few months back, walked away from Magic the Gathering because of the
Hmm.
AI issue.
Yes.
So
Because you
it's
can do
perfect that
that.
yeah,
You can
you can
afford that.
afford to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect timing. Okay, so
Mm.
for a younger aspiring artist there, those are great things to consider when accepting projects. Because aside
Yeah.
from monetary gains, if you can afford it, if it gives you joy, you might as well, right? So yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
it.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to get paid. It's what
Yeah.
we do. So don't
What
be
made
like
you?
me.
Yeah, yeah, it's what we do. So what makes you say no to a project?
If it's sorry. If it's the client, I feel like the client's like being a douche
An
or
asshole.
yeah,
Okay.
kinda, or demands too much for and paying too little. Like some clients do, uh, especially Filipino clients.
Oh, okay.
Uh, like if I mostly avoid Filipino clients, even if they pay high,
Oh,
because they're really gonna squeeze all their effort and time for their project.
revisions
Yeah,
maxed out.
with your patients. So with your patients, always tell the client before you start that you're gonna charge for more if there's too much revisions. You don't get trapped in that infinite revision projects.
Yeah, and you just
So
get burnt out as a result, right?
yes,
Oh,
so try to avoid that, or at least inform the client before you start the project.
on the topic of burnout, I myself, along with the other artists, know you take projects and you're really fast with them. And some people joke that when you're burnt out or tired, you're drawing. When you're resting, you're drawing. But when burnout does hit you, you recommended doing something else not related to art. So one anecdote I got from someone was one time you were burnt out. It was around Christmas season, so you stepped away to wrap gifts for Christmas, and then after
Yes,
wrapping the gifts, you came back and you felt better.
yes, because something like not really art related or work related, just folding papers,
Mhm.
really relaxing. If you have some other hobbies, don't make your art your hobby too. You're working because you're
Yeah, what are some of the hobbies you do outside of art? Because I asked the previous artist like Raf Lamotan, he takes long rides and he sketches somewhere peaceful. What
hmm,
what do you do?
hobbies.
Hmm.
I poop. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice necessity.
No, other hobbies right now. I don't have other hobbies right now. Just do
Metal Pen people are saying Minecraft.
sometimes, not anymore because no one's playing the server. Playing games like for a minute, for like 30 minutes an hour, just to get my mind out of the work,
Mhm.
refresh my brain. Uh, but still like to draw. If I get burned out from work, I don't get burned out from personal projects. That's what I really want to do.
Uh-huh.
But I only get burned out from work because it's other people's idea, and,
Ah, that's
and
interesting.
get yeah, I have to, especially if you have a lot of revisions and don't get along with some clients. It's easy
Okay.
to get burned out. Also, if you, I try to. That's why they say they do work fast because I really want to finish a project like in a week because if it's extended much further, I get bored
Oh, okay.
seeing the same painting, doing it. So I want to finish it as fast as I can, with of course with the quality in mind. Don't just finish a project just to say you're fast and put up a crappy
Yeah.
piece of art. So be mindful of the quality when you work, because that will get you more work
Mhm.
if you produce more quality work.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why what I do right now. If I get burnout from work, I don't get burnout from my personal art. That's why you see me do personal art when saying burnout, maybe burnout, warm up for to get rid of my burnouts. So yeah, it's my burnouter.
Remedy. A
Yeah, burnout
remedy.
remedy.
I'm
I
not gonna
paint, I
ask
draw.
for your work hours, because sometimes when I was hanging out in Metal
You can
10,
see here. Right?
you would, yeah, you would be working sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes at like 12 a.m. onwards until 7 a.m. So I'm not gonna
Wow.
ask about the working hours, but I am gonna ask, what's your day like? What's your routine? Like when you wake up, do you just go straight to drawing? Like I heard someone does that, but what's your routine like?
Routine. I try to have one. And
Hmm.
seems
Sure.
to not get a routine. Sometimes when I get really into my paintings and instead of let's say I need to sleep by 10, or that's my regular hours. I sleep at 10 p.m. then wake up early then paint. But sometimes if I get into my painting, really enjoyed painting it, I'll get past to 10 and sleep at 2, 2 a.m. or 5, then my whole schedule is broken again. Then, yeah, depends on on what I'm working on and how I like working on them.
Okay.
So for a daily routine, I wake up like everybody does and get some coffee, uh, breakfast, then browse Facebook or station, Instagram, check my email, then start painting. And after like I try to work until at least 8 hours. If I don't get that, I will feel guilty not working.
Or you feel
This
guilty if you're not productive.
yes. So I like to finish a lot of work, but if I don't get finish at least one in a day, it will make me want to take my just
It's in a day.
yeah, in a
Let's
day. I want
say
to at least finish a sketch or rough colors. At least to get to submit one finished
update.
work to a client. So
Okay.
yeah, that's my daily routine.
And then after your 8 hours for client work, let's go to your first. Do you set time for your personal art after? Right after it?
Mm, Fortunately, no.
No? Okay.
Yeah, because if I want to work on my personal art, I really want to my whole um, whole day to work on that instead of just pinching, uh, painting a bit every day. I want to spend at least a whole day just to dedicate my time to a personal art. That's how much I love to do it.
Oh, it's
If you
interesting.
love someone, spend much more time.
Okay. That's interesting. Now, in terms of personal art, I first saw your works back in when I was in high school. Uh, then more than 10 years ago. It was on Aswang Project's website. It was also the Bongismis. So
Mm.
I wanted to ask, where did your affinity for Philippine mythological creatures come from?
Hmm. Since we were been with since very young, we've been told about those mythological creatures since we were young, like Aswang, Mananangals. Every time you hear a noise in the roof, you say, "Oh, no, it's Manananggal." Plus,
If yeah.
we spend our childhood outside, so we like to play outside. That's why we tell stories about those things. Like when you see a tall tree in a dark alley, I think there's a capri there, or a abandoned house, a haunted house. You know, it's the beauty of um, growing outside instead of inside, just internet, interneting my life.
Do you come from any province? I know you come from the Kingdom of Tondo,
I'm
Manila.
still.
But do
I
you,
grew up in the Kingdom of Tondo.
oh,
I was born in a very young age, so I grew up here. So
nice.
didn't spend much time in the province. I'm from well, I'm from both two province. My mother's from Batangas and my father's from Bicol.
Hmm.
So yeah, Bicol mythology is also important to me. Like the Bakunawa. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize Bakunawa was actually part of Bicol mythology. So, awesome. So yeah, that's how I had an affinity for Filipino mythology in childhood.
Do you have any personal experiences with the supernatural?
Mm, Ghost maybe
Sure.
when
Yeah.
when I was sick, not six, I mean sick way back when I was 10. I felt like there was a ghost. I have a fever back then, so I felt that there was a ghost. Then I shivered very much. When I woke up, it was gone. I really felt like there was someone there. Also, one time in my apartment when I was sleeping, I was so tired. That happens always when I get tired from work. I was so tired that night when I slept. Then when I turned around, I saw like a girl. It's covered in she's in shadow.
Oh,
I saw a girl sitting beside me. This but I was so tired. I offered her the pillow
oh,
just to go
na,
back to sleep.
that's nice of you.
Yeah, I was so tired. Didn't really care, and I just realized it when I woke up. Like, what the hell happened?
Weren't you
Yeah,
living
that's
in with your girlfriend at the time, or that was
no,
you
no.
were
I was
alone?
alone. I was in my apartment when I started working as a freelance. I left home, then stayed at home. Stayed alone in my apartment. Yeah, that was. I think that's the closest I came to get to experience supernatural.
That's nice. That's nice of you to offer the pillow.
Yeah, always
Oh,
happened there. So get some sleep, guys. That's very important. Don't say that sleep is for the weak. No, sleep is for the smart.
oh, there you go, guys. Very important tidbit right there, or else you'll see
You
na-
see those shadow
women beside
ladies.
you. Oh, it's funny you mentioned the apartment because I remember that anecdote so well. Because that was actually, for some of the people that don't know, that segment when you talked about that in the interview with Brushpoint, way like 3 years ago, where you put yourself in a situation that will force you to work. I think you got that from Dave Raposa. So
Yes.
you said back then you wanted to go all in with your art career. So you had 180,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
180,000 pesos. Then you bought
Yes.
you rented an apartment. Then you bought furniture, and you had around 50,000 left, and
Hmm.
that forced you to work. So that actually inspired me to resign from my job last year.
Why?
I didn't have a backup plan, but I wanted to take
Good
the.
job.
Thank you, thank you, sir. Actually, there's four of you. I call you the four horsemen of the apocalypse. There's you, Sir Justin, Alex Malveda, JC Damariga. Four of you
Okay.
people inspired me to resign and be an artist. So I wanted to ask, did you ever put yourself in that situation where like you had your back against the wall? Did you ever find yourself in a situation that did you ever willingly put yourself in a situation that dangerous again?
No.
Never
I
again.
realized never again. I realized I was stupid. But I made it, so I guess it works. Actually did that before I even know they Raposa did that. I heard it in an interview at Crimson Daggers. And I heard it like, oh, I see. So that's what they do. I thought it was normal. So,
They worked out.
so, yeah, I don't put that. I'm in a position that I don't need to do that anymore. So I don't. If you want to do that, make sure you have a backup plan. Like, don't leave your parents burn bridges. Like, I don't want to go home anymore. Then you go home because nothing happened.
Oh,
So make sure you plan that out. You have enough savings to do that. Survive. Yeah. I think I just got lucky. So I have connections uh, and gunship happened. So just lucky get more projects from there and earn a living while I'm all alone.
all right. Once again, as a reminder, we don't recommend
I
living
don't
on the
recommend that.
edge. That's
But
nice.
if you
That's a
can
nice
do
one.
it, do it. If you really want to challenge yourself. If you feel like you're always like not getting anywhere, maybe because you're too relaxed,
Too
you're not in
complacent.
danger, or yeah, you're not surviving anymore. You're just living. That's something I heard somewhere. People are not surviving anymore. Still, yeah,
We're being responsible here.
yes, be responsible with your life.
All right. Let's go back to your personal works. Um, where do you see your personal IP? Right now, the only IP that I'm aware of for you, from you, is Dragonicon. Is Are there any other personal works or IP that you're working on right now?
The daku, the daku.
Yeah, I've seen.
You
Okay.
know the word daku
I don't know what that means. Is that
means big.
Bicolano? Oh, you
Yeah,
like it big?
yeah.
Hmm.
It's in Bisaya too. Maybe our Bisaya audiences may get offended that you say it's from Bicol. Those Bisaya people.
Hmm. So are these all giants? That's why they're. That's why it's Daku. Because they're all big. Is that why?
Which is daku,
Uh-huh.
big. So big fishes.
Okay.
Bisaya
So
things.
where do you see this your personal IP going in the long run?
I was um I was planning to make it like a D&D source book where you can
Mhm.
use for campaigns with D&D, Filipino mythology characters. See, there's two type of mythological, Philippine mythology projects I want to work on. One is the fantasy D&D type story. The one is I call it Homo Incantosis. I want to call it a Homo Incantosis book. Like Homo sapiens, but uh, explaining that, like scientifically explaining our mythological creatures. Like say, the example. I posted it in the chat. There's an example. About a capre. This was my idea on the capre.
Mhm.
So it's an ape. My idea of a capre is like an orangutan. Since it lives in the trees, so it's an orangutan of a gorilla, because a gorilla doesn't really live in the trees. It's an orangutan that has a bioluminescent tongue. So when people saw it, they thought it was smoking a cigar because its tongue is glowing, and it's attracting. It does that so it can attract insects that you can eat like a snack.
Mhm.
Insects are attracted to light, so it evolves to have a glowing tongue to attract insects. And locals thought it was a man smoking in the tree, a dark man smoking in the tree, not knowing it's just an ape, an orangutan that has a glowing tongue to attract. We base it on chimpanzee that pokes the anthill to get termites
Mhm.
or ants, something like that. So it's a story that scientifically explained uh, gets in the our Philippine mythology based on other research like yeah, chimpanzee eating termites or capre. What's a capre? Actually, my idea for capre is like just a deer because you don't have horses way back then.
Mhm.
Horses were brought by Spanish, so you don't know where they get the idea of horse tikbalang. Maybe from India religion. Okay. So yeah, that's two books I'm working on doing. I hope to get that published before I die. So especially right now, every year you get closer to death.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so hopefully get that published in the fancy in Draconic, of course. Yeah,
Before we die, that's great. Because you mentioned in other interviews where you don't like working on big IPs that someone else's, especially the famous one. The perfect example was if you
the,
go to
the what?
Africa. Ah, like you don't like working on someone else's IP, especially famous characters. Like if you had to draw Wolverine, you wouldn't enjoy it because you would never be as big as the character. Like if your best example was if you went to Africa, like if you ask someone, "Do you know Spider-Man?" Chances are they'd say yes. But if you ask them if they know Jim Lee, like who's Jim Lee? So if you were to retire or just stop working, I don't want to say pass away. It's too morbid. But if you were to stop, yeah, big if. Which among your current personal works do you think would succeed you? Would give you immortality? Because they'll live on forever. Which among your current
will
works?
succeed me?
Succeed.
Whoa.
You stress the suck in the
Justin,
seed.
please. Justin, we're in a family server.
All right,
Please, contain yourself.
Sorry.
Succeed. And I don't think I have made that yet.
Uh-huh.
Maybe
Not yet.
if I finish the book, maybe. But I don't have any characters or story that is at that level yet that people will remember, even if I'm gone. Hopefully, I get to do something like that. One of the goals, like it's like immortality.
Yeah.
Something that will live on, even if the author's dead. I haven't. Hopefully.
Perfect word for this legacy, right? You mentioned it before, to live on. So what is this legacy that you're aiming for? Like what is aside from the book? So is it the book? Is it just the book? Or is it like another idea in general where like for example mythology would be our Philippine mythology would be talked about more? Or
it's one of the
what is
goals.
this legacy?
Like one time I heard someone, I saw some comment on a post based on I think one of my work on a D&D book that they find it really weird and really fascinating that we have really different creatures than the Europeans or the Americans. Like they're Bigfoot or what. We have a very like we have a female that separates the manananggal. I find it really fascinating because it really different from the occasional fantasy like orcs, dwarves. They don't have those. We do. So I want my goal is to spread our mythology more, like see it in foreign movies, like they use it in a foreign movie or on video games, successful video games. It may be see Kratos fighting a capre, something like that. He went to the God of War 15 where he fights the Bathala and whatnot, or at least a setting on Magic the Gathering where they set it in a Southeast Asian kind of world where with dark mythological creatures as your monsters or your beings. And, it's one of the goals. I want to live behind that one of the pioneers that made our stories, our mythology part of the industry. Being an industry myself. I don't wanna, you know, share that.
So let's say you made something like that live beyond you. But that's the art, Let's talk about the artist. And this is probably the closing question for the interview before we go to Q&A. So I want to ask you, what
Hmm.
do you want to be remembered for as Tots Valesa? Like, what is it about you that you want to be remembered for?
Hmm. It's not up to me. It's up to the people that I interact with.
Mhm.
I don't wanna, imply something or just suggest something. You should remember me by this. You should remember me by that. Remember me how you wanna remember me.
That's great. That's a great
Yeah.
ender right there. Remember me how you want to remember me. Enough said.
And
Thank you. Thank you for that. There we have it, guys. And
you're
that caps
welcome.
off our interview portion. We are now opening for Q&A. So if you have questions for Sir Tots, leave them here. Even if it's in Tagalog, I can translate on the spot to English. I'll do my best.
So Tagalog, is that still the language in the Philippines?
Oh, Filipino, Filipino.
Oh,
Yeah.
see. I haven't been in the Philippines for a
See,
while.
see. It's really hot. we're
Oh,
being
see.
we're a province of China now.
What? When did that happen?
Oh no. Ni hao.
The weather there. The weather is fine. Very our kingdom is enclosed, so the whole kingdom is in air conditioned. So it's cool here. Uh, any question?
And your questions? Well,
If
Sir
you
Tots
don't
will
have a question,
continue.
I'll just. Did anyone downloaded the PSD? Did they have the copy? I can
JS.
explain you the
Okay.
process.
Actually, yeah, we can go through it right now. We can demo.
So the question and the image, huh? So we get.
And so far.
So first, uh, I get a message. I was sleeping. I get a message. So, hey, Tats, one of the artists backed out. Can you fill in? And I was like half awake. Then sure, fine. Then I realized when I fully awakened, oh, right, I have to do something as a sample for the subscriber. So I painted this. First off, I do a rough sketch for composition. I just do the when you draw, like so. It's my screen light.
Yep, it is.
When I draw, I don't. You see other people doing the generic circle. They do it like this, so clean. It's a sketch. Let make it look like a sketch. So when I draw, I don't usually follow the Loomis. That's what they call the
Miss
Loomis
Method.
technique. So just draw shapes very loosely so I can easily compose. Just the first thing I do, I compose. I compose the image because no matter how good you painted it, if the composition sucks, if the whole image sucks, so you need to compose properly. So there, I do the composition first. Then once I'm good with it, I move to a much clear sketch, adding more details on what the Nito to look like, the tree, the soldiers, the conquistadors. And once that's done, I move to a much cleaner lineup. I don't uh I don't usually do this clean liner for my project since I'm the only one's gonna look at it. So even in this second work, I can finalize this if I want. Since I already know what's going on, I just did it for you people. So yeah, I finished the liner first. Once that's done, you do the details and make sure that everything that you do on the sketch before you go to more rendered part, rendered stage, it's all in there. The anatomy is right, the pose is right, so you don't have to do a lot of editing when you're doing the panel. Once that's done, I then add colors. This is a new process I'm working on. Back then I do grayscale first. Now I do the colors first. I add the colors, the local colors I want to use there. Then I add the sketch. I add the shadow. Shadow. There's a technique I do for shadows. I do change the layer mode to multiply, then fill it with white. Since white won't show up if it's in a multiply, it's normal. You see this. It's multiply, it disappears. Then your eyedropper, click the current layer. So you only get to color pick the current layer like this. Only get white. If I draw a red here, instead of getting the red and the color behind it, I only get the red. So that means I can now paint shadows instead of just multiply layer of shadows. I'll fill it with white and paint the shadow instead of just erasing to fix the shadow. I'll just color pick it much faster for me, so I can blend it. You can use other colors to normal color pick the white to like erasing it, but not really. Mm. So there, I add the shadows. Do you have any question while I'm working?
Oh, okay.
This,
We have we can start with Ella's question, and three people are upping it. So actually two. So Ella asks, estimated monthly earnings. What are your estimated monthly earnings?
my estimated monthly earnings is that's my early estimated.
There we go.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that? Yeah.
I think my mic was.
Amazing,
So
guys.
that's my monthly earnings.
You all heard that, right? Yeah. Sorry if you didn't hear it. It must have been an internet lag. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Next question. Father Zeus asks, with you always drawing, how do you keep yourself healthy or at least avoid getting injured?
I don't leave home. I don't go out, so I don't get injured unless like if I forgot or something. Healthy? What?
How do you keep yourself
How I
healthy?
get myself? How I keep myself healthy? What's that?
Yeah. No.
I'm not healthy. Really. It's one of
That's the
the things that you really should look for. I look into your health because even if you're as great as let's say Dave Raposa or the other artist gods, if you're sick, won't be able to paint. So health is priority first, then anatomy, with shapes.
in anatomy and shapes.
That's part of being an artist. What to learn first? What to learn first is how to get yourself healthy. That's very important.
There you go, Zeus. Hope that answered your question. Uh, Boogs
Anything else?
asks, what is your shoe size?
Oh, I'll show it to you when
Or show us your shoes.
I'll show Books my shoe size when we meet
Oh, okay, there you
in
go. When you
person.
guys meet up in person.
Ayan,
Oh,
I'll add the shadow. Then I do an overlay to form the image of like it's a bounce light. I use it as a bounce light from the sun bouncing from the water. So
mhm.
it's a bit more. Then an overlay, just an overlay layer. Then another overlay layer to add the highlights. Let's see.
Mm.
This overlay, then this one color, Yeah. If you have the PSD, you can open it up or after this interview thing, in message me if you don't get anything in the process.
Where can they message you? Aside,
Yeah, they
you
can
get,
message me if they want to. They don't
can they
understand anything.
can they slide into your DMs? Is that okay?
Sure. DM me and I will ignore it.
Nice. Okay, there you go, guys. You have to catch him in Metal Pen when he's live.
Yeah,
Uh,
the Metal Pen gaming server.
in the gaming in the in the
Gaming channel.
Ahit Bigas gaming channel. Oh, Ella is asking, what subject matter do you avoid the most drawing? Oh,
Uh, subject matter avoid the most.
hmm.
Hmm. I try not to avoid because that will limit my limit the project that I can get. I don't usually do sci-fi or robotics, mechas. But if a client, a good client, offer me a work like that, I try to get it, and so I can learn more. So I try to limit things I don't really want to. Even if I don't want to, I try to make something interesting. So, so if share a client, for example, this one. I don't usually do backgrounds like fantasy, like forest, and maybe some castles. Here, I force myself to do a background to
Oh,
use a
there's cityscape.
perspective, and go over it.
But
I
this is
don't
client
usually
work.
do. Yeah, this plan. It's just a sketch.
Sure.
Right? To sketch, you need to provide to sketch. So, like this, I don't usually do this because I like to paint more, fantasy stuff, more organic stuff, and like this full of inorganic stuff. But I felt like I'm gonna learn some things, and I did. I did learn some stuff. Doing something that rarely do.
Do you get
So,
PTSD from your architecture days in college?
uh,
When you
not really. The story architect, don't really go that far in my architecture studies, in my architecture days. Like like, yeah, once I'm in the PU before I get kicked out, then once I'm in Milky before I left. So that's just one sem of architecture.
yeah.
Barely know anything. I learned perspective from just reading books and just practicing. That's one thing I knew. Well, this for me. When I really watch tutorials, when they started painting, I find it boring. I prefer watching artists tell about their thought process instead of or their background story or their not background story, more like industry experience instead of watching them paint. Or if I watch them paint, I don't usually finish the whole video before I start. I watch the part that I want to learn, then go back to what I'm doing and apply it instead of typing this. I'm gonna forget it. So I immediately go back to it again.
Oh, okay. So you can apply it right away, then ingrain it
Yeah,
into your brain. Okay, that's great.
much
Oh,
faster
next
for me.
question. We have one from Ishi. Miss Universe question. Have you ever had thoughts or doubts of not making it into the industry? If so, how do you deal with them? I guess this was back then when you were starting out because you're already in the industry. So back then.
Thoughts or any doubts?
Oh, yeah,
I,
of not making it into the industry.
funny thing is I didn't have doubts because didn't really expect to get in the industry. I just want to paint. So when I
Mhm.
got in, then it's a bonus. So no, I didn't have doubts because
So,
I didn't really expect if I get in. So I don't doubts about getting. I just get lucky, I guess.
Yes, Sir Tots, not Sir Doubts. Thank you, Boogs, for that nugget of
Wow, very insightful.
singing praises. Thank you, thank you. Ah, that's nice.
So not to sound like really, arrogant or something. I just really didn't think that we'll make it if I don't do this. I didn't think that. I just painted, submitted, but that get accepted. Fine, then I make another one. Cool, it's cool. At least I tried. I tried 4 times before I got into magic. So hmm,
So your
just love.
your mindset was just you want to draw, and
Just wanna
everything
draw
else
and
is a
paint.
bonus.
Yes.
Nice.
Everything is yes. It will come. They will come. It will come in
I'm not saying anything. First to
if you
succeed.
just do good work. It will the opportunities will come.
Yeah, it'll come. Thanks. Sorry, Ella. Don't kick me out, Ella. Sorry. I feel a sniper in my forehead. Ella's holding a sniper.
Thank you for that
Ah,
question.
thank you, Ishi. I hope that Ishi is one of our students.
Nice.
She's in UP Fine Arts right now. There
Oh
we
wait,
go.
have you been in the gunship now?
Gunship talk. Oh, she's transferring from UP Baguio to
Oh,
UP Diliman
oh, you
this
did
like
that.
August. Yeah.
Why?
It's
It's not here.
colder in Baguio.
I mean, in the Philippines, not here in the.
Kingdom of Tanda.
So anyway, I continue it. There's not
Sure,
much
sure.
else. So I had another overlay layer at the highlights. And then the effects is linear dodge for the effects. Once that's done, and I'm good with the lighting and everything, I then proceed to paint the background. I start with the background first so I can set the mood and the colors I'm going to use. The ambient light. If you zoom in my work, it's really, really not that detailed. Just an implied detail, not really that detailed. You can see here, you can see the brushstrokes. But since I work that way, because if it's this, if this is for a card game, it will only look like this when it's printed. So the amount of details you put don't really matter as long as you get feed. It's a nice feed. So check your workman grayscale. So
From afar.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
sizes do you usually work in? The size of your canvas?
Uh, for my personal art, I use 11 by 17, 600 dpi. You can really go into
600
some.
DPI?
Yeah, when you zoom
Okay.
in, is the 100%. So when I need to actually add some a little bit of details, I can zoom in like this. It won't look like pixelated.
Okay.
You don't need to work on this canvas size. I just do it because my computer can handle it. They like some. So when it comes to printing it, they have more details. More interesting. Yeah. First finish the background first. But again, after I finish the color wraps, that doesn't mean that's already the final rendering, the final placement of things. I still will add a little bit of colors, highlights, in some part. It's like correcting my own piece when I move to painting. And after I painted the background, I move to the main subject. Do a lot of research, especially in trees, because you want to make it look like something I gave another artist advice when painting some mythological Philippine mythology. If you're painting background like trees, they do research like Nara trees, so it will look more, or Valeza trees, so it will look more Filipino, more connected to the Philippines. Instead of just random trees that you will probably won't see in the Philippines. So even that, I say it's a taking away. But I just love doing that, adding more. Filipino touch. Even if it's just the background. So, yeah.
Oh, in relation to that, like a perfect segue for this person's question. So y'all or Tapsi asks, do you do texture studies first before inputting it to your work, or do you go Rambo on it? So I'm guessing like on the spot, you just go.
Here's a secret. I don't study.
Oh, there you go. There you go,
Yeah,
Tapsi.
I did the study on the piece itself. So, well, I do some study, especially for the face. If I am having trouble with drawing the face or a part of body, I do a study sketch on the side. But in here, since I've already painted so much of this kind of stuff, I don't really need to study the texture. Just look at the texture, then take it. You know, look like a tree texture, but it's really not. It's just some brush strokes. Just make it
Impression.
look like a tree. See how a tree texture would look like facing your reference. Because again, it won't be viewed like this when you post it or submit it for printing. It won't be viewed like this. The audience, the normal audience won't really notice it. It will be like this. And at this size, all that brushstroke will, compile and we call that combined and make it look like it's a picture. So don't think too much about texturing when it comes to this kind of stuff. Especially in this kind of painting, the painted style, because the important thing is just the composition. Again, the composition first, then the rendering is just the backdrop or something. Hopefully that answered the question.
Did that answer your question, Tapsi or y'all?
Yes, I do
Okay.
Rambo in this kind of um, even in magic. I just do find this one. Think
Tapsi says,
yes, it
thank
can
you.
show some magic.
Of course.
I want to see some magic PSD.
This is how you prepare it. How many layers are there for magic? Because I know for your personal works, you mentioned you like to keep it in one layer. But for magic, how many? Or is there a certain
Uh,
way you have to set it up?
for magic, the final submission or just the
Final.
work final?
Yeah.
Final.
Yeah.
Only submit a single layered PSD, high res PSD, because
Oh,
they don't require multi-layer because they're not animating it anymore. So just the PSD file. But
anymore.
from anymore. Way back then they animate the cards. They have,
Cool.
for the trailers, they do that. But not right now. They do 3D animation trailers, so they don't use the card for anything else. So, but other clients prefer that. Wait, let's see this. Hmm, let's see. Oh,
Oh, smoothing.
file. For example, this table prep needs multiple layered images since they're gonna animate it for the game. So here's the layer. Here's the background. First, I painted on the background. I painted in single layers, so you can still see the remnants of the characters, the subject. Then let's see this layer, second layer. Okay, the glow text is layer two. You animate that. Then this one layer, one layer, the ground, one layer, and the effect. So it all depends on the client. So before you start, make sure to ask your client if they need a layered PSD file for final or just a single layered file is okay. So they'll save you more time. I like painting on single layer. Because, for example, in this one, and I'm painting trees. If it's in layer, I need to I need to paint this one, the background. Paint it on the background. I need to find the layer, paint it. If I make a mistake, erase it. But on a single layer, I can paint. Then, if I want to correct it or erase, I just color, pick the background, and paint it. Example here, stake, and paint it. Plus, if the style you were looking for is really painted, it's just better to paint it on a single layer because, the traditional painting, they paint it they don't have layers. That's a big thing. So, yeah, I paint on single layer for magic and my personal piece.
On this piece, Rusty is asking, what is the inspiration for this piece and where did you find it? Where did you find the idea for the storytelling?
Uh, Inspiration for this piece. I've always been wanting to paint an Anito, an animated Anito, but I don't want to paint like, let's say, an Anito like, um, sorry, a walking Anito, it's awakened when it look boring. Because I wanted to paint trees, pines. So I did, what if an Anito can control the spirit? Anito is actually the spirit, not the totem. This is a bulul. Anito is the spirit. So when Anito awakened, it means the bulul awakened, then he summons the vines, the branches, the trees, the leaves to form a body so it can protect itself against this conquistador. So that's the idea of it. I just want to, what if Anito awakens and um, use the elements to protect itself? Also to, show the basic compositions. I thought it before in Brushpoint. I'm not sure if some people were there. I thought how to compose stuff like this. Like, for example, is it going to demo this or are we out of
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, no, please do. Composition.
So let's say, uh, if I don't know composition, I just want to look generic. This is how I compose it. So, just the Anito, just a level, Anito, P, um, P, um, it's a soldier. It's a boring composition. You want to make it more epic, you change the camera angle. So what you do is, since you want to make Danny to look big, like imposing, like
Mhm.
you're nothing to it, you just go past you, no matter who you are. Make it, you bring the camera angle low. So this is the horizon and tilt it. The Dutch angle.
The jungle,
Why
yeah.
are you
It's
laughing, Justin?
No,
I'm trying to teach you here.
I can feel Ella,
Oh my
the sniper,
god!
aiming down at me. Oh no, Ella's there. Oh, I'll behave, Ella. Thank you. But yes, Dutch angle is when it's tilted. It
Yes.
informs tension. It
Yes.
evokes tension. Yeah.
So the scene is tension. Tension. So lower the camera angle too. So horizon line, set up before lower the horizon line. Tilt it so the perspective is like this. Oh, this 3 point is perspective is up there. Point. Perspective here. Learn perspective, kids. It's really important. Then you put the meter here. Like
Oh.
this moving. Then the just to go here. So now you're looking up, like you're in danger now. That's imposing to you know. So one way of doing an epic composition, lower the camera angle to show that the main subject is much bigger than the viewer. Even in spot illus, some people can draw a character like this. Um,
When they say
Pricing
spot illustration, they mean the character alone. There's no background.
it's not a concept art, it's a spot illustration. It's the character. Simple thing background. And you can draw a character like this, or you can move the camera down, draw him like this. More heroic now because you're looking up there. See the difference?
Yeah.
One
Oh,
more.
then it's a V shape of power.
That's perspective.
Much more imposing.
Right. Also, you want to make him look more ominous. You do it from above. Like he's about to do something to you.
Again, these are just in the beginning when you're figuring out the composition or the posing.
Also, if there's based on this art bit, the description, with the mood, with the client want the mood to be. Do it on, even in pose, the character is posing. Just do the slim gesture. You can compose fast. Speaking about, you can, if it's for illustration, you can do that. Like the morning, and put people here that they're looking at, jump over them. And just compose. Of course, if you're a concept artist, then it's not your main job. Yeah, learn camera angles. It's amazing.
Study camera angles. I'll follow up to that piece. Or whenever you do work in one angle, someone followed up issue. Do you make multiple copies of the PSD file before painting something risky? In case you have to go. In case you do something risky. So since you're painting one layer, it's harder to.
Of course, like this. If I'm not sure about one thing, for example, I'm gonna add like, let's say, an encanto here, and make a new layer, a separate one. Just a normal layer. Then I paint it there. So if I'm not sure about that, you can easily delete it. Or there's a technique, another technique. Another way people use this. We use this sometimes. In history, you have the history panel. Check, for example, this layer, this moment. Check that. Then you draw something like that in a single layer. Then you don't want that. You want to go back to the same thing. Just the history brush. You have a history brush. Then you go back and erase it without touching the original piece that you did.
It's great. It's my first time seeing that.
Yeah, it's like an undo with a brush. Example, we want to do this, put there, and put here. If you don't like it, instead of going undo and doing it slowly, you can just erase it. Because sometimes if you, for example, you painted something here, want that, then you painted something here, so painted something here, but you don't like this anymore. If you undo that, that means this is gonna get touched, gonna get undo too, because it's been done later than this. Instead of using that, use the just the history brush to just erase this part. It's retain this part instead of undoing
The whole
just
thing.
undo this part. You guys get that?
Yeah, there you go, Ishi. And anyone else? It's 500 pesos. Sent
No,
to
that's 5,000 pesos. Thank you.
5,000 pesos. Please send to Sir Tots PayPal. Link in description. Oh, speaking of which, we'll be accommodating 2 to 3 more questions before we can wrap this up. And let's keep the show going. Pawi
Yeah.
asks, what are your main style inspirations? In your other interviews, you mentioned traditional artists like Marco Djordjevic, Dave Raposa. Is there anyone new? Or like, let's say, who are your core inspirational artists for your main style? And what are the things do you always look to for inspiration?
Right now, it depends on the work I'm doing. For example, this my main inspiration is, like you said, Michael Djordjevic and Zlatan Belinov. Uh, but for this, I look at other artists. I have a make sure you have something like this too. I have a like what's this?
Oh, quick segue. LS asking, is there a hotkey for your history brush? Or do you bind it?
I think it's default Y in Photoshop. Or I think it's not here. 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 Here's the history brush. It's in Y. Where's my folder? Ay,
Is this your inspirational folder? Oh, okay.
collection of artists and for
Over the years,
example,
huh?
for this piece, lately I'm looking, been looking for Ekaterina. You know Ekaterina? It's a magic artist.
Oh,
I
no.
like her render because it's just simple.
What's her name? Katrina.
Ekaterina Burma.
Katrina.
Like it, I like her work because see that not too detailed. But if you look at it, it's an ocean. It did what it's supposed to do. And if you
Oh.
look at it and think it's an ocean, it's an ocean. Not
Hmm.
to detail it, just photo to make it look an ocean. It's a lot. Kind of style I look for. And what else?
Oh, there we go. Our Metopan people are putting in the spelling of Ekaterina Burma. Thank you guys.
Yeah, I have a collection of artists like this. So, I'm working on some stuff. Example,
So you do
one.
this more than Pinterest. Some people have a Pinterest or a
There's
pure.
a lot of AI right now, so I don't want to.
Ah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
I go to ArtStation and just collect other artists.
Oh, this is a great alternative. Ah, Rohan is asking while you're going through your folder, what tips
Rohan.
can you? Who you? Sorry, Rohan. No, Rohan is asking, what tips can you give beginner freelance artists when marketing their artworks to reach possible clients?
What tips
Tips.
you can give to freelance? But you're not listening to me whenever time every time I give you tips.
Oh, is this not the first time he asked?
Got it.
Got it.
No, for freelance, to get uh, just get good. No, do good work. It doesn't matter if you. Oh, also marketing. The way I did it, I just the first time I want to open a commission, is how I did it. I open up a 5 slot free commissions. Since I'm not that known at DeviantArt back then, so I open up uh, free art commissions, 5 full illustrations. Then see if someone's gonna request something. So I got 5. I did the 5. Then once that's been done, then I open up. I think a $50 commission. I started with $50, then turned to 100, to 50. I started that. So the first 5 was the like my test if I can do other people's characters. Because back then in DeviantArt, it's all about the OCs. original characters. So yeah, market yourself properly. Because even if you can paint like this, but you don't show it anywhere, don't post it, don't share to social media place where you can get clients. It doesn't matter. Get any work. To market yourself. Post as much art as you can. Make sure it's quality, of course. And the fishing technique, comment on other people's art with the link to your art, to your gallery, so they can check you out too. Yeah, that's the marketing process I do.
There you go, Mr. Rohan. Hope that answered your question. It's one of Metal Pen's regulars from what I see in the server. And by the way, guys, if you want to ask Sir Thoughts and the others, they're frequently in the Metal Pen server. We can send the invite link later in the lounge chat, but it's free to join. You just have to read instructions when you get into it, as well as on the Facebook page. So please join. Yeah, you get shout out Metal Pen.
At, at the moment, I'm not there. I'm really busy at now. So I usually do this the 1 month sabbatical thing. That I don't
Oh,
go
cool.
to Discord or any other just so I can paint because I have a lot of things to finish this month. Then
Okay.
after that month, I'll go back again auction ship. Yeah.
Oh, Brushpoint messages. Hi, Sir Tots. You helped me a lot when I was starting as an illustrator. Just want to ask if we can do a collab illustration someday.
Brush.
JS. DJ Mr. Lumpia.
What is Brushpoint?
It's Mr. DJ Lumpia.
I'm confused. What is Brushpoint?
What is
Some kind
Brushpoint?
of a group?
Why is Brushpoint? Some kind of academy.
Collab? Sure. How much?
How much? Oh, it's JS. 6 digits.
I'm sure I can do collab. I would like to do collabs. As long as, depends on, am I gonna paint your line art or gonna paint my line art? Then is JS gonna touch mine or gonna touch his art?
Who's gonna touch? That's Ella. You decide. Who's touching who? Madam, Mrs. has to decide. So you can.
Oh, nice collab, boobs.
Nice collab.
That's a good idea.
Depend I upload.
Is there any more
questions? I think this is a minor one. KD Chan, Kyla is asking, do you use 3D for MTG?
I use 3D. I think I used it once. Just for the post because I'm having trouble with the post. Let's see if I can find it. But I really do. I use anymore. I use any more 3D in my work. I just want to paint it for everything's normal. Wait for a moment. Wait.
JS says, I'll just propose some ideas in the future. Okay. You have Ella's blessing to touch. Oh.
Second you already proposed. You're married. What is wrong with you? Right. Here, I used the 3D.
Was this provided, the 3D asset? Or
no, I did a 3D on, call that poster. Okay. Is it poster? Yeah, that's 3D. I didn't trace it. I just studied it.
Reference.
Although, because I can't find any post like this, so I use the 3D to use it as a reference. Yeah. That's the last time I used 3D in Magic and other interviews that I didn't really use. I don't know how to use.
Do you use Blender or any other software?
I want to learn to use Blender.
There you go,
And I can
KD-chan.
Nothing else.
Any more questions or forever hold your peace? Seabets is asking, sir, can we have MTG artist proofs? $5,000, please.
Yeah, I can sing some. Maybe in a meetup, meetup and Brushpoint meetup someday.
Oh,
When I have
meetup?
some time, I can draw on the artist book and keep it for free for the amount of 5,000 pesos for free.
For free. Thank you. And yeah, we can see your shoe
Maybe someday.
size in person, the reveal.
Sure, I can sign that.
Brushpoint is asking, when are you going to the meetup?
When I'm free, like 20 years from now.
There you have it. We have a number. It's real. It's solid.
2044.
Okay. Sir Tots, before you go, I would like to ask if you'd like to grab a cup of coffee sometime. Wink. Boogs. We're reaching the end. These questions.
I'll think about it.
Hard to get
go
first.
out. Don't want to go out. Hard to travel from Kingdom of Tondo to the Philippines. You know, it's like a couple of hours.
I guess to close it off, Sir Mad Morose is asking, is it important to have a sense of humor?
I know. Don't have. Is you mean to say, you know,
We have reached the end.
this is sense of humor. It's come out like naturally. You don't force yourself to have a sense of humor. You just look like a clown.
Yeah, don't want to look like a clown. There we go. There we have it. I hope you guys absorbed a lot of valuable information right now. That was a lot to absorb. Yeah, it's now 9:37, and I think we can wrap it up here. If you guys have any questions, Sir Tots has given you his blessing to ask him, but please ask nicely. He's also busy. He has work. So where can they reach you? If they have questions? There we go. Oh, there. So Sir Tots, where can they reach you if they have any questions?
Metal Pen, I guess. Metal Pen Discord. Just DM me if you have any questions about. Just don't ask me for portrait commission. I got a message earlier today that you can do a portrait for them for this round. Don't do that. You ever see me do a portrait of these monsters? You know, make me look your fan of the monsters.
You'll make them look like monsters, but it's a portrait.
Just message me on DM me, Facebook or Discord, Metal Pen, Brushpoint, something like I'm not in Brushpoint.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, just message me anything. As long as like art related questions, don't message me about other things that I can help you.
Yeah. And if he doesn't reply, that means Sir Tots is busy. So please ask nicely.
Or I'm very masongit at that time, so
Means cranky. JS, do you have any closing remarks? Oh, Sir Tots, in this camera, is there anything you would like to shout out? A project that you need support in, subscription, YouTube channel?
I'm making another. I think it's kind of a tutorial on how to design something based on one of our audience that doesn't know who they are. I'm making a paint over kind of thing with proper process instructions on how to improve the art. So just watch out for that. Probably post it next month. Hopefully. Two of them now.
Sounds exciting. Next month. All right.
Next month.